morning, students. So today, in the last video, I explained the lesson around a medicinal creeper. In this video, we will discuss the question answers. Okay. Now the first question, that is answer in a word, phrase or sentence. These are students. Last time I had given you all some questions, okay, like an assignment. So this time we will discuss the question answers from the text. Okay, so the first question, answer in a word, phrase or sentence. The question is, what did Mara do when they found the creeper? Okay, now students, as you all know the answer, he tied it to a tree, and you can use the word he ordered it or he commanded it to remain there. Okay, so the answer there, what did Mara do when he found the creeper? He tied it to a tree and ordered it to remain there. The next question, mention the curse about the medicinal plant. Now as I told your students, to a quick recap means I had told you all that they were they were constructing some kind of shade over some coffee plants, and that time they found this creeper. So as soon as Mara found this creeper, he tied it to a tree, and he said these words, "You remain there, you thief, you remain there." And then when the narrator asked him, he told him about the superstition. So the next question is about that. Mention the curse about the medicinal plant. So what is the curse, students? The curse about the medicinal plant is, that is a sage, it seems, had cursed it, that when someone needs it, they will not find it. Okay, so as you know, students, this is typically Indian, where students, we believe that even blessings or curse, or when someone utters something bad, if we believe that it is very effective and it impacts the person or the creature in question. So the same thing here, where he says that as the creeper was cursed, and the curse has proved very effective, because according to Mara, whenever people needed that creeper, they would not find it. Then the next one, what surprised the white man? Now here they are talking about that English doctor. Okay, I told you once when Mara was cutting the bamboo shoots, and his hand was bleeding profusely, then he went to an English doctor for treatment. So what surprised the English doctor? Because I told you, when he tied that lungi piece, and he, to examine the wound, he saw there was no blood or not even a single scratch or a scar. So that surprised the Englishman. That's the answer. How did the mongoose and crocal cure themselves from snake bite? Now this part I had not explained in the previous video, so I will do it now. Now students, we know about that incident when Mara went to told us about the incident, went to an English doctor, and how the doctor was taken aback, because as the same thing, where he could not find a scar or a wound or blood on account of a leaf. So, then that English doctor commanded Mara to take him to that place. Rather commanded in the sense, he decided to strike a deal there. He told Mara, I will give you my entire estate. You have to show me that place where you found the leaf. And when Mara tells us, when he went there with the doctor, they searched, but they couldn't find that particular tree. So the narrator says, oh Mara, why are you always telling these cock and bull stories? And then Mara says, no, it's true. And then Mara also tells him that the mongoose and crocal. Crocal is a bird, students, and many a time students, Mara tells that when they are, when they are bitten by a snake, okay, they eat the leaf of that particular plant and get themselves cured. This is possible, students. That is, there are some, maybe there are some plants which have some, anti-poison. That means which work against poison and helps a person to cure himself. So, so maybe students, those, all those creatures around us in nature, the birds, animals and all, I told you, they also depend on nature to get themselves treated from some ailments or to cure themselves. Okay, so if accidentally a snake bites them or something, they are likely to die. So they know by instincts how to get themselves cured. That means, what is the antidote, the leaves of which plant they have to consume, so that they do not die of the snake poison. So this is what Mara tells. So The answer there is, students, they cure themselves by eating the leaf of a particular plant, okay, when they are bitten by snakes. Okay, the next one. Um, why had Mara lost his teeth on the right side? Now, as I told your students, the narrator first gives us a very like kind of valid explanation, and he says yes, because he was an old man, and usually these villagers and rustics, they're not so much worried about their appearance or looks. So it's that they lose their teeth and then they get it replaced by an artificial tooth or something like that. So usually it's left like that only, although however ugly sight it may be and however inconvenience it might cause them. So in Mara's case also, he did not have teeth on the right side, and of course because of age. That is the answer, because he was an old man. And of course, students, if the same thing has to be, the question would have been, what story did Mara tell about it? Then you can tell about that incident where, Mara claimed that because of some stick with which he tried to clean his teeth, because of that he lost his teeth. Next one. What did Mara's wife found on opening the packet of meat? The story, as if you all know, the most bizarre story we call it, okay, where Mara says that he hunted a barking deer, and when his wife opened the leaf, instead of the meat of the deer, she found a young buck which leaped out and ran away, okay. As I told you, a buck is the young one of a deer. So not only, actually she had brought the meat, but not only the animal became alive, and it became a younger version of itself. So that is Mara's story. Next one. When would medicines lose their potency according to the belief of native doctors? The answer is, students, medicines would lose their potency when they told about it to others. So this was the belief. You're not supposed to say it or discuss it or explain it to others. If you do that, this is a belief, a superstition that they harbor. The medicine loses its potency. Now coming to the essay type questions, students, we come to the first one. How long did it take the narrator to learn the fact about medicinal creeper? What does it signify? So here you can see, students, the narrator himself, in the beginning of the lesson, he says that he took him nearly 20 years to learn about the medicinal properties of these plants. And the answers, they are the same. Why? Because as you know, students, we are told that people who actually have in-depth knowledge about it have not shared it. Okay, and people who have the means and the resources to actually conduct a deep research and study about them have no mood or inclination to do it. They just dismiss it as rubbish. Then, as I told you, people who have the knowledge about it, they don't want to share it because they don't want to lose their importance. So they guard it like as trade secrets, they give it to people as magic potions. So these are reasons. So it took the main crux of the answers. It took him 20 years. And of course, the second part of the question is, why did it take him such a long time? The narrator here is, he is not a doctor by profession. But as you know, students, this is something as an individual, as a layman, what he has observed and experienced in his life, and what he believes can be done for the well-being of man. He tried to pursue that, but in a small way, and he also suggested to his doctor friends about to do it, but they did not oblige. The next one. Okay, what does the incident about Mara's wife throwing the leaves into the fire tell about Indians as general? Now, as you know, students, Indians mainly, yes, students, ours is a world of superstition, beliefs, myths. But as you know, students, many a times these superstitions also all cannot be dismissed as absolute rubbish, because sometimes these superstition also, the people who must have what have created these superstitions had a very good reason behind it. Now I'll explain to you all one of the superstition. Now this is something we have grown up learning. We are not supposed to cut our nails after sunset. And someone even I have heard even enhanced version of that, where someone told me, if you cut your nails after sunset, thieves will come to your house, you know. So the question that comes to my mind many years later, how do thieves know that someone has cut their nail in that house, their nails in that house? But anyway, students, if you look at that belief, you know, students, in India in ancient times, we did not have electricity. So mainly students, they depended on you know, like small diyas or something as their source of light, which was you know, it was like it was almost like they lived in darkness after sunset. Now, students, in that kind of light, if someone tried to cut their nail, it was very likely that they will injure themselves or they may hurt themselves accidentally. Now, supposing if you tell a person directly, don't cut your nails after sunset, you know, the person may turn a deaf ear. They may not take it seriously. But when you put some kind of fear in them, this kind of fear in them, that you know, it's very you know, it's very dangerous. It's a bad omen, and you know, thieves may come to your house. So when you put that fear, people are more likely to abide by it. So that must be the reason. I'm not saying all superstitions. Some, like for example, students in India, you know, they say that if you kill a male snake, you know, the nag and the nagin, the female snake will hound you, will stalk you, and then she will take her revenge, she will kill you, and she will only rest after she has taken her revenge. Now, of course, students, science tells us a different story. Science tells us that snakes don't have a memory. But here, if you see, students, the person who created this kind of superstition, it was a well-meaning one. Because students, you know, in earlier times, people lived almost amidst nature. Yes, mostly the house was like in the middle of the forest. So naturally, the place was abound with snakes. And as you know, we are told a very small percentage of snakes are actually poisonous. But whenever we see something which even vaguely resembles a snake, our first reaction is kill it, because for self-preservation we believe, what if it bites us or something and we die? So it's better to play it safe, let us kill it. So there were many cases when people used to kill snakes, you know, for no rhyme or reason, and out of fear. So that is why someone who must have created this superstition wanted to protect the snake population. So these are some superstitions I have explained. Now, apart from that, you know, students, in India we believe a lot about black magic, spirit, or someone being possessed. Especially students, when there is some kind of mental ailment or a mental disease, you know, very few times people used to actually go to a medical doctor. It's usually, you know, they go to people, they claim that the person is possessed. Some spirit has entered the person's body and is making him behave in that insane way. These are beliefs they have. You know, here also, when she saw that, you know, in that miracle, the first thought that must have come to her mind is, you know, this leaf is cursed, or someone has put some kind of black magic, done some kind of black magic, and that is why you know, the meat became alive and also became a bug. So that is why, you know, she destroyed the leaf. You understand? She did not, that means theirs is a mind which immediately goes in that direction. Okay, they do not try to analyze things in a rational way, in a logical way. Usually, as they are mostly uneducated, or I would say illiterate, theirs is a mind which always seeks answers in things like magic or curse, evil eye. So that is why this must, the immediate thought that must have come to her head is that there is some kind of evil in this leaf. It is cursed, or someone has put some kind of magic on it, and that's why um, someone has cast some spell on it, and that's why uh, this was the result. So that's why her reaction was to destroy. So her throwing the leaf into the fire tells us our Indian you know, sensibility, especially of villagers, how usually they attribute things that they cannot explain in you know, easily. They always take recourse to things like magic, curse, black magic, spirit, evil eye, witchcraft. Okay? So that is why it speaks about that. Now, next one. Uh, the next one question is, how was Krishna cured of his illness? So this answer, students, you can start by saying what was his illness. Krishna was suffering from piles. Okay, piles I told you when you pass blood with the stools. Okay, then what happened? The next step, he went to an allopathic doctor. What did the allopathic doctor say? You will have to undergo a surgery. Then Krishna went to a Malayali sadhu. What medicine did the Malayali sadhu give him? Yes, the tuberous root of a particular plant has to be, you have to consume it with milk. And after that, what was the result? Was it effective? Was Krishna cured? Yes, it was very effective because Krishna was cured completely. Now, these are the 4-mark questions, students, what you have to answer in 80 or 100 words. Now, moving further, students, all these questions, we will try to answer them together. So, the first one you see, do you think that the author is suggesting that Indian herbal medicine is better, safer than allopathic medicine? Support your view. What has made modern man lose his, this is one question, the next one, what has made modern man lose his knowledge of traditional medicine? Do you think Ayurveda will make a comeback in a successful way? And the third, our natural resources are our vital resources. So here, students, what these questions are telling us is, as I had mentioned in the earlier video also, Indians have always lived in close proximity with nature. We are a country mostly about, who depend largely on agriculture and agriculture resources and agriculture products. Okay. Now, that is why, students, nature is, people used to depend on nature for virtually all their needs. Nature was also a part of their life and culture. Like you'll see, students, even till date, when we perform weddings, like to mention a few, you will see, students, rice is an ingredient which is used in many weddings, during the course of rituals. Now, if you'll see, students, rice is also something that is believed to enhance fertility. And that is why you can see the connection, why it is used during wedding, during the rituals of wedding ceremonies. Then, students, in India, many a times you see trees are not, they are treated almost on par with human beings. Yes, trees have life, but the kind of what you say, the stature that is given to a man, the same thing is given to a tree. Like for example, in India, supposing we are told in many states in India, when they examine a person's horoscope and they see there's something like a bad omen there which says that the spouse will die uh, after the marriage. So then if they want to go ahead with the marriage with the same people in question, then they perform the wedding of that person first with a tree. So they believe the first wedding is done, so that is over, and then the second wedding is with the second marriage is with the person. Okay, so tree there is what you can say the spouse. It can be the bride or it can be the groom. Like for example, Aishwarya Rai, she was first married to a tree, if you know about it. Then students, many a times, um, as I told you, trees are also very huge, tall trees. They are considered the abode of gods, and we know we worship many trees. Okay, and many a times tribes, they tie some leaves in their amulets because they are believed to ward off evil eye. Okay, like some negative impact. Then the leaves of some particular trees, students, earlier they did not have this mosquito coils and all. So they used to burn those leaves to ward off the flies and mosquitoes, or for that matter, insects. Then, so this was their life amidst nature, with nature, as a part of nature. Nature was an inherent part of their life. So they depended on nature also for their medicinal needs. Now, you just have to Google natural cures, and you will see, students, there will be so many. You have cures for insomnia, constipation, you name it. And in your kitchen shelf only, they say so many things you can use as a natural remedies for these ailments. You don't have to go to a doctor and take allopathic medicine. But students, this is just the basic. yes, there are so many trees and plants which can give us, a more enhanced kind of treatment for our illnesses. But so that is what, like for example, the latest students today, I heard that some doctor from Australia claims that, he has come up with some medicine for corona using, and he says the main ingredient in that is uh, pineapple. So he has used the stem of a pineapple, and he says that it can be used as a spray, okay? So that what it does, it prevents the corona virus from entering our lungs through our nose. So you spray it. So he says it will be like a preventive means. So it works much better than a vaccine, and it works much faster and in a more effective way. Okay, so this is his claim. Let us see, students, how far it works and if people really accept it. Okay, so all these things have to be considered. As I told you, for anything, maybe it's a natural ingredient or whatever it is, for you have to give your proofs, and there has to be a proper body of research to support your claims when you say something is works proves effective against something. But definitely, students, these natural ingredients have antiviral and antioxidant properties which can really cure us in a natural way, and more importantly, students, in without any side effects. Okay, because many a times you hear, students, that people suffer from some disease or ailments, and then they were cured from that disease, but now they are suffering from, like, one of my friend's mother. She had a heart attack, and because of the medicines she was given in the course of treatment for that, she got diabetes and blood pressure. So now for the rest of her life she's stuck with the medicines for these two ailments. So that is how it is. It comes with side effects sometimes. So and maybe, students, sometimes the side effects can prove worse than the actual disease, what the medicine claims to cure, what it leaves behind as a trail, or what you can say, like a hangover, the side effect comes, something like that. So that is why, students, in future, maybe, hopefully, like allopathy and herbal medicine will make a comeback in a big way. And not only Indians, the entire world, of course, we are told Western countries are gradually awakening to its properties and its virtues. So hopefully people will take more recourse to natural, herbal and Ayurvedic medicines. Okay, thank you, students. Stay home.